Did she call you? You have to go. No, no. See, that's what you do. When somebody calls you, go. Go. Peace to the gods and goddesses. How you guys doing out there? I hope all is well with you guys. You are now linked in to House of Harlem Studio, and of course, I'm your guest, Kia L. And to the right of me, my hitter, Shaka L. Bay. And pretty soon, my co-host Waji will be on the ones and twos. Shout out to all the moderators that are always in the building, showing us some love. And shout out to all of our guests for today. I know there's been a lot of uproar and a lot of thinking question marks in people's head about a couple of posts that we did in regards to masturbating your child. But I tell you, this story will soon come about, and I'll read about it, and you guys will be able to give me your commentary and let me know what is the deal. But, I'm going to wait for a little while, let people come in, fill up the building, which I already know. I always ask how y'all doing. I hope you guys are doing great with your health. I'm working very hard on mine. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you hit that like button. And listen, it does not hurt, and it is free for you to share this link right now with your friends and let them know House of Harlem Studio is in the building. Shout out to the Miss Bonita Show. I am a host on her show every Tuesday on Blog Talk. All right, if you want that information, we'll be putting it in the chat. Shout out to Red Velvet Entertainment. If you're an artist on any type of platform, that's where you need to be. You'll thank me later. And shout out to a brother Rocky that I just met. You know what I'm saying? He's doing big things. He has a non-for-profit organization, and I am certain he will be doing well with that, working with the children. I just want to give him a shout out. I also want to give a shout out to BX Haas. He is an artist, an entrepreneur, and a manager. He's my manager for free. I want to give a shout out to my brother. We also are going to be at a lot of events for this month and throughout the whole summer, pretty much. So, shout out to all the artists, okay? The rollout concert is about to happen July 16. Your girl is going to be there. She's going to be covering some media, building and networking with the people. Hopefully, I'll do a little bit of hosting. Not too sure about that, but it definitely will come about. We have a lot to talk about. And I'm hoping a particular person calls in regards to a story that I would love to cover. The Haitian president was assassinated. May he rest in peace to him and his family and all the people who loved him over there in his country. What the bummerclot is going on over there? No, there were some issues with him stepping down as president, and I don't believe he had did so. His wife, which I'm hearing, is safe now. Pretty much, she was injured during the attack, but I'm hearing that she's safe and she's doing better. There's a possibility that she is here in the States. So we're gonna be reading a little bit about that, talking about that, and having a dialogue about that. All right. So I don't think this question is going to be put up on the screen. All right. The telephone number may be put on the screen. And also, if we can get another question in there, that'd be great. But the question of the day is, and I know this sounds far-fetched, all right? And on this platform, we do not discriminate, all right? We do not condone harassment. We are here for infotainment, aka information, all right, and educational purposes. That's what we cover. But the question is, you guys, and I know you're like, you are just way off. Like, I've never heard of this before. But would you masturbate your child if he or she needed it? And I'm going to say medically, all right? I'll put that word out there. Now, I know people were like, what are you talking about on the social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook? I know people were like, yo, like, I am over it. I've actually had some people call me and be like, what are you talking about? Like, I think that's way off. I don't comprehend what you're saying. It just really, the conversations that I've had with people throughout the week in regards to this, helped me to realize how emotional and judgmental we can be. Although I gave a little, I must admit to that, I gave a little as to what was going on, but it was just an emotional outburst within the first few words. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely get it. I understand what it is, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's an interesting story that I felt the need to speak about. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. And I definitely know you guys are going to be giving me your commentary. I already know that. I know some people may be for it and some people may not. But it is what it is. All right? There's a lot to talk about. I mean, a president being assassinated is big. It's not impossible. But it's like, what the hell is going on? Was that an inside job? So I want to read some article, which my stuff came out faded, so I may have to go online because my paperwork, obviously I need some ink. It's like, it's not a problem though. You just go online. I know where I got my source from. It's not even a problem. How you guys doing out there, man? Shout out to the chat, man. Summer is here, all right? As you already know, there's nothing new under the sun, but there are supposedly different variants, okay? Different variants, a stronger strand of the Rona, all right? I'm actually going to read what Alfisha sent me. Shout out to Alfisha. What the hell? All right, shout out to her. She put me on a game with this because I get so Listen, thank you guys. I get so much of information because we are a show, and because we have all of our extended family out there, our brothers and sisters. People are sending me so much of stuff. Sometimes people will send me stuff that is private. I don't get the opportunity to say, hey, I don't even I can't even see it. You know what I'm saying? So and then some things is like reoccurring, especially if it's like some major news. I'll get it so many times. So like the first person who sent it to me, I've already read it. So my apologies if I haven't responded to anyone who has sent me or Shaka any information. I appreciate all of it. It doesn't matter if tens of thousands of people send it to me. I have no issue with that. My only thing is I may not respond at that moment. I may not respond ever, or I may not respond right away, but it doesn't mean that I do not appreciate it. I really, really, really do. And this is why, because of you guys, I really feel loved and really love this platform, because it's a platform for us to have dialogue and conversation, and also to keep update to what's going on, especially when it comes to our survival. When it comes to our survival, it's like, we have to communicate. We have to have a dialogue. So I do appreciate you guys sending me so many things. Let me see if I can get to what she was talking about, the different strand. So they said, well, this is the twist to it, right? The Delta COVID variant. Huh? Where they get that at? All right. So she knows someone who works at a testing center here in the U.S. I mean, in New York, within the U.S., within New York City in Brooklyn, and apparently, a lot of children are coming back sick. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. Is nothing new for me. I would have to see how, what are the children sick with? Is it deadly? Because once again, we've always gotten sick, right? That's not new. We've been getting sick since the ages. The point is, are these things deadly? Now, being sick can lead to death, right? I mean, it's not far-fetched. Being sick can lead to death, but is it worth putting people in a panic and making it seem like it's a pandemic? That's a whole nother wave, okay? So hopefully she'll get on and give more insight on that, because it's still something that we should have a dialogue just to make sure. It's like dotting your I's and crossing your T's, making sure you have a dialogue so that, if there is something going on, we could definitely work towards making sure we're safe, making sure we're okay. Guys, I am so excited, and I just can't hide it. I have no idea. Like, it's like I got all of this energy from nowhere. I have no idea. I'll wait till the building fill up. Also, we're gonna be like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this miracle happen, but have so many interviews lined up. So stay tuned, because y'all know this show is an informational show, right? It's a variety show to begin with. There's no limits on here. It's a variety show and it's a family show. But, the other side of our information, because we're geeks by default, right? But outside of that, we're a hip-hop world. We are a artist world. We are a music world. So we like to interview people on that side, but it's not limited to. So we'll interview anyone from the conscious community, whether you're an artist, whether you're a photographer, whatever your area is. If you're good at it and you have some information and a dialogue that we can exchange with that, then that's what it is, okay? We've interviewed a photographer who has done a lot of work for Cardi B in her heights, not nothing when she wasn't known. And I believe she's still doing some good work. She uh, gave us some insightful information on pictures, and I want to put that interview back up. Shaka, do we got that? We got that, right? We got the interview saved with the young lady who was a photographer who came on the show, and we had a great dialogue. I can't, forgive me, I can't remember her name right now, but is worth watching, because when you take pictures with someone, right, a professional such as herself, just because you're in the picture may not mean it's your picture, right? So that's very interesting to me. That's something that I've learned that's new. So we have to really be aware of everything around us. So I take that very seriously now. I don't, I already took, serious people taking pictures of my children, because sometimes people can do editing. They'll use your face or children's face, and people do crazy things, period, in general. But because I am in this field, I take very highly interest in people taking pictures of me or recording me, because at the end of the day, I will have to fight you for me being in something. So I don't consent to any of that stuff. And the interesting thing is, I never did with my children. I never did. Usually, how to have a permission slip, and it's so interesting how these people are so clever when they do consent forms and stuff. They'll put everything on one sheet of paper, or they'll kind of make you, by default, consent to one thing. I cross out lines. I don't play. I cross out lines, and I initial stuff. I screenshot and take pictures. I'm extreme with that. So a lot of times in schools, they will do that. Hospitals will do that. Hospitals have a very interesting way of putting things all together and making you consent to way more than you even bargained for. So you just got to know how to maneuver and work around that. And that's why, as Moors, we learn the law. Obviously, the HIPAA law is no stranger to anyone, right? But we learn that. So let's get into it. Recently, as we mentioned on the last show, congratulations to, I'm hearing noise in the background. Congratulations to Bill Cosby. Although, like I said, I have my red flag up in regards to him being his case going to the appeal and being acquitted. Was it taken? It was overturned. That is the proper legal word for it. And simultaneously, you got former President Trump sitting at the table with people from the patrol, and it's just very interesting. So I always dot my I's and cross my T's and kind of weigh things out, because nothing happens by coincidence. Everything is strategic and calculated with these people. You just can't. It's calculated. But at the same time, I am happy that he's out. Okay? And I want to read up I want Shaka to explain a little bit more about his story, because at the end of the day, there was a deal. Remember, you and I spoke about this? There was a deal put out on the table. He wasn't supposed to go to jail, period. This is whether or not we agree, whether or not he did or did not commit these acts, right? These sexual acts on these young ladies. That's one thing in itself. If I do a deal with you, no, nigga, and we agree on it, and everything is fine, you can't turn around and forfeit the deal. So basically, with that alone, he had a deal, he had a plea deal, and they still went around and prosecuted him and took him to court. Where they do that at? So that's one thing. And so because of the deal, people feel some type of way. He agreed, I'm hearing, I did not read the legal documents, or I don't know what is out, but he sort of agreed to that he did this, but he wanted to make a deal, a plea deal. Is that correct, Shaka?
Yeah.
Okay. So he agreed to it. Would you guys agree or disagree? Well, he agreed to it, right? Now, how many cases out there where you have, some celebrities or well-known people or people who have money, just like Michael Jackson, who agreed to stuff, I don't want to say agree to it, they make a deal. They make a plea deal. Now, do you know, Shaka, yes or no, when they make these deals, do they have to agree to doing the act? Or they just make a deal and say, listen, I don't want to move forward with this situation. I don't want it, long. I don't want a long, lengthy court battle going back and forth. And, I just want to settle. And within that settlement, do they more than likely agree that they did the act? Yes or no?
Most of the time, whatever, a lot of the times, the prosecution will come and work with the defense to come up with a deal. So once that deal is agreed on and is signed, then what happens from that point is the deal is supposed to go into effect, and whatever the terms of the deal are, they're supposed to be executed. Now, what happened was, again,
what did you
like we
you heard
spoke
the
about
question,
last
right?
week.
The question is, okay, yeah, the deal was coming. When they make that deal, within that deal, do they agree to committing the charge? Do they agree to committing the crime or act?
It's not a given. Sometimes they may agree to it. Sometimes they'll plead no contest, which means they just they are basically evoking their right not to incriminate themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's usually no contest agreement. They turn around and make their arrangements and go about it.
Do you know? So, but Bill Cosby agreed to committing the act.
He may or may not have. We're not saying that he agreed to it, because the no contest is not a guilty plea.
Oh, so his situation was no contest.
We don't know, because those deals are sealed. The public is not supposed to know that information unless one party or another decides to speak on it.
Okay, so the person who spoke on it, I guess she doesn't really know. She's claiming that he agreed to the act. All right. Well, wherever the case may be, he's out. He did make a deal, but within that deal, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are guilty of it. Some people just don't want this long out court battle. So they rather settle and just give whatever party's money. And sometimes, although you're innocent, and this has happened so many times when you went to trial, when you go to trial, you do everything correct, and you still are found guilty. You know how many people are found guilty that are now having their cases reopened, and there's a big turnover, So look at the Central Park 5. So many men, and then are in jail for years, literally years, that got arrested in the 60s, 70s, and 80s for like small petty crimes that even that we don't know if they really did, and they're being released. So many men are accused of, and women too. We don't want to leave the women out, but the men seems to be more of a target, or when it comes to this jail thing, who were found guilty of rape, and because cases were reopened and DNA tests were done, everything was acquitted, and it's really interesting. So with that being said, I like to look at things, I like to dot my I's and cross my T's. I use that term all the time. And when you're looking at these cases, although some of these people may may do a deal does not necessarily mean that they are guilty. Not saying that that's Bill Cosby's situation, but we're just speaking in general terms. Do you have anything to say? Shout out to the chat. You have something to say? So I want to read what has happened. Felicia Rashad, you know, I tell you, when it rains, it pours. It just like, you can't get no break. You be damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? If you strongly know or believe in something, you're not allowed to mention it if you have a certain notoriety within your career. You can't really say anything. And pretty much this is what happened to Felicia Rashad. But go ahead, say what you were going to say, God.
No, go ahead. I kind of lost my train of thought, so when it comes back.
You'll do it. So, according to the USA Today, I mean, this is all over the news, right? Bill Cosby had to go and defend Felicia Rashad. Why? Bill Cosby says Howard University must support one's freedom of speech amid Felicia Rashad's backlash, right? She just tweeted something. Literally tweeted something. And because of that tweet, they made a decision not to have her as a guest. So, I'm going to read this. A terrible wrong is being righted. This is her tweet. This is what Felicia Rashad said. A terrible wrong is being righted. Okay? Felicia Rashad tweeted following Bill Cosby controversial release. Some people feel some type of way about him getting out, believe it or not. They feel some type of way. And her comments prompted a response from her employer, Howard University. Okay? The university issued a statement Wednesday saying it prioritizes and supports sexual assault survivors. And the university also said personal statements from Howard staff don't reflect its policies. In May, Howard University hired Rashad, who played Cosby's wife on The Cosby Show, a dean of the recently reestablished College of Fine Arts. July 1st was Rashad's first day on the job. And after the backlash, Rashad wrote she supports sexual assault survivors and didn't mean to be insensitive. So here it is, she's just defending him, right? Because she feels like he was wrongly accused of something, and they corrected it. He is out of jail. But because of that, somehow she don't support sexual assaults. No, that's not what that's about, you know? In response, Cosby's expressed his support for Rashad in July statement. So that, as a brother should, to the USA Today, released by his spokesperson Andrew Watt, adding that Howard University must support one's freedom of speech. They should. And Mrs. Rashad, which is taught or support to be taught every day at the Re-owned Law School, which resides on your campus. Cosby's statement also criticized mainstream media, calling them the insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol, referencing the January 6th attack. These same media people who are trying to demolish the Constitution of the United States of America on this Independent Day, it reads. So he strategically did this on the 4th, and she, had to write that she fully support sexual survivors, and she would like to move forward. And they, it was no way intended to be insensitive to those people, right? But she just had to speak her truth. And I don't know what you guys think about it, but for me, that's exactly what it should be. I mean, damn it, Bill Cosby is in the hot seat. So if she didn't firmly know this guy and believe what she believes or knows what she knows, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have gone out there and wrote that. And to mention, she's been silent since the whole, trial, right? Am I correct? I don't think she really said anything during the trial or anything like that. So she and other people have come out and support him. So a lot of the cast members on the Bill Cosby show had came out made a statement here and there in regards to him, and but she never spoke. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know, you guys, if that's not true. But her one time coming out and saying something after the fact is kind of really interesting to me. You know, take it up with the appellate's court. Let them deal with it, right? Take it up with the district attorney or something like that, because they're the ones who made the deal with him. So why, do that to this lady? Like you making her feel less of a person because of her tweet?
Since we talking about, full disclosure, since people want to, I got this one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Since people want to vilify him without really getting the facts, they just going off of a personal testimony.
Right, emotions.
Right, because one of the things that happened was that because there was so many people coming out and claiming that they were assaulted or sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby, that it compelled the prosecution to go against their own agreement. You know what I'm saying? So they broke the contract.
But
they're
lawfully,
the ones that
could
are
they do
inviolate.
that?
No, if you make an agreement, you cannot break that agreement. Not when it comes down to, you saying, okay, you're going to agree to this and so on and so forth. Because what happens is a lot of times high-profile people get the opportunity to have these plea deals where they plead no contest, because what's going to happen is that there's going to be civil suits. So this, in my eyes, in my personal opinion, was an attempt to extort Bill Cosby, because he has the money. He's like damn near a billionaire, if not already. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, he wanted to buy half of NBC, which a certain select group of people were staunchly against that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in coincidence. So all of that shit that they talking, you know what I mean? And then you talking about 40 years later, when half of these women probably don't even remember.
Some of them.
Yeah, it was done long ago. You know what I'm saying? So how the fuck you gonna turn around and say, oh, he did this, that, and the third, but after he did it, because you said it was consensual, you go back. You know what I'm saying? You get drugged, you have consensual sex with the man, but instead of saying something then, you go back and continue to deal with the man.
Yeah, that's
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that don't sound right.
That shit don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? And you got these cold ass Negroes in mainstream media that want to buck dance and start, hand clapping for fucking massa, and start vilifying their own when they don't even have the facts. These motherfuckers is
none of us
making up news.
Right. And that's what we don't we can't fall for that. We can't fall for the makeup news.
The niggas is clowns. Man.
We have to have the facts. And that was it. A deal was made. We don't know what, obviously, and it's just common sense. He's not going to have that out on the table. So we really don't know whether he agreed or disagreed, or he agreed that he committed the act. You know what I'm saying? What we know is that a deal was made and they fulfilled the deal. That was not supposed to happen. And that's all. We can't say nothing else outside of that. Right. Now we can do our little journalism, our little detective little stuff or whatever, as we're stating. There's nowhere in the world that you can do something consensual with someone and then later, after, within that time, in that moment, certain drugs are given and then later on is rape. That is like, we just have to use our common sense with that.
They were all doing drugs back then.
So you're saying back then they were doing drugs? So you think
they really remember what the hell happened on any given night in detail? When they were all high as a kite? That's what we doing?
It's hilarious. Wait a minute.
Come
Wait a
on
minute.
now.
Wait a minute. So, what do you mean back in the days? Is this the 80s and 90s?
We talking
Bring me
about
back.
the 60s,
Oh,
70s. These
I wasn't
niggas
even
is
born.
high.
Also,
They higher than anybody I know ever got.
really? Even
Well,
after the 80s?
not anybody. I
'Cause
know
the
some
crack-
niggas that got real high. You know what I'm saying?
We have
Off some
different
shit.
eras in history. So you're saying around that time it was like real bad?
It's not bad. It was a
'Cause you-
social thing.
Oh, so that
The
was
same way these young niggas out here is drinking lean and popping pills
Oh, yeah.
and all that. It's social.
that's just the norm.
You know what I'm saying?
Not to say, and believe me, come on, I support fully any woman or man, because some men get raped too, who has been raped or molested. Like I don't play that. I do not play that. I don't play them games. Believe me, I don't. But at the same time, you know, because grown ass men be getting raped out here. Who's laughing? What's going on? You know.
Shout out to the chat. Afisha said, dudes getting high right now.
Right,
you
they
got
getting
them
high.
right.
They getting high. They getting high, and this is true. I don't play around with that, but I also do not play around with false allegations of rape. That's serious. Some serious shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. We not playing those games. You know. So but just because I choose to use my logic in with the story that's presented to us doesn't mean that I don't support someone being raped or sexually assaulted. We're not doing that either.
Correct.
We're not going to play the little mind playing games. We're not going to do that.
We're not
Okay?
here saying, we're not here saying, oh, Bill didn't do this, Bill didn't do that.
No, because I don't
Bill
know.
very well could have hit them.
Looked
chicks
like he
with-
was. I know he was
and
hitting them
straight-
up.
Yeah, he probably did lace them.
I think, in my
You know what I'm
opinion,
saying?
to be honest with you, going to this industry is so fucking easy. When you got money and you're known, half of the time, these women throw themselves at these men. They throw themselves up for the possibility to get known. And the men and women also use their celebrity status to get who they want as well. So we don't know what the hell happened. We don't know what the hell happened. But the probability, more than likely, is the other way around. They just be sitting there minding their damn business. Shoot, let me be a superstar. I probably have all men swinging ding-a-ling everywhere. You want it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably wouldn't even have to ask for it. So anyway, what is the chat talking about? Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. The president of Haiti has, he's been assassinated. His wife was injured during this crazy crime. We want to speak about the updated news. I had a printout, but I'm going to have to go online to just read it because my stuff is faded. But it's been a lot going on with Haiti. It's been a lot going on with Haiti. It's been a lot for the past, 10 to 20 years. There's been so much going on. I just want to, send some positive love to my Haitian brothers and sisters. We love you dearly. You are one of the strongest people on earth. Keep pushing. We're here with you. When we get our shit together, you best to believe we coming to get y'all. We coming to fucking get y'all. That's all I got to say. All right. Y'all already know what it is. Sop I say out in this is on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on. Y'all already put it on the map years ago, all right? Toussaint, you already know what it is. We got to invoke him. Things got to happen, all right? Things have to happen. So it is said that the president would, they wanted him to step down. We're going to read a little bit about that. Matter of fact, where is Wiz? Where's Shaquillin? I know you have some insightful information in regards to this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you may know some more things, more than what I would read on the feed. So Wiz, give us a call. What number are we using to call in today? We have so many numbers. The 646-776-3818.
I'm going to put the number up right
Is it
now.
possible for you to call in?
Or
let us know
anybody,
what's
just
going
call
on.
in. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about this stuff,
I want him in particular,
Yeah, but Wiz, you
for the
one of the
specific-
moderators, you get a chance, call in. I know you out there on the Grizzly.
You on the Grizzly
So,
right now?
Yeah, he on the Grizzly, but I mean,
well, let us know. Let us know in the chat if you're able to call in for a little bit just to cover this story. This is very serious. It can happen to anyone, but it's like, goddamn it, what's going on? What's going on? What's continuing to go on right now when it comes to, Haiti? Haiti has been going through it.
Yeah. So let me shout out the chat real quick. Let me shout out the chat. It's Liddy. Shout out to Jerome Bradley, peace. Shout out to Cousin Solar, he in the building.
Peace.
Shout out to Diane and Red Velvet Entertainment. She's in the building. Shout out to Byron. What's up, Byron?
How are you?
Yeah, Wiz is in the building. 6 Speed is in the building. We got Jihad, that's family. You know what I'm saying? Mewman, he in the building.
That's what's up.
Cousin O'Laurie is in the building.
What's going on?
Kay is in the building.
What's going on?
Rocky Sales is in the building. Peace. I'm seeing some new names up in here. Sister Afisha is in the building as usual.
Thank you. Shout out.
Asta Raid. Forgive me if I can't pronounce it. Asta Raid. In the building. Peace.
Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys.
Yeah, hit that like button so the algorithm could do its thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Are y'all ready for the topic of the night?
That's what we're doing.
Are y'all ready to hear some crazy-ish right now? Because I know that's what y'all in here for. I know y'all. Y'all talking about who in the hell is going to be masturbating their goddamn child. I need you guys to take this link and share it to family and friends right now. Because I got an article to read that's, I don't know. For some people, it may blow your mind. It may not blow your mind. But it is what it is. So I'm going to save the president of Haiti's news for a little later. And we're just going to get into like what a lot of people are wondering, what the hell have we been posting for the past few days? Who in their right mind? We just finished talking about sexual assault and harassment, right? In a case, and it's like, what's wrong with you, Kia? I know y'all saying like, what in the hell is wrong with you?
We'll put hands on your son, get him right.
Don't do that.
Get your son right. Make so his motherfucking head don't explode. I mean, the head on his shoulders don't explode. That's what we talking about.
I came across this article. It was very, very interesting to me. I've come across it a couple of times actually, and I just decided today would be the day that we're just going to discuss this. I really want to know y'all opinion about this. All right. I really want to know your opinion about this. And I want y'all also to stay tuned because we definitely have to talk about this stimulus check 4 that's supposed to be coming out, all right? We got to talk about Carrie Richardson and the craziness of what these people are trying to shut her down. So we have a lot of other things that we have to talk about along with the president of Haiti, all right? So let me read this article to you. I don't know if we have a picture coming up there, but probably had a little video. Also, the Moors are on trial right now, you guys, okay? The Moors are on trial. We're going to play a video of, once again, these cops going out their way to do what they do because they do it so well, right? And we're going to see what the outcome of that was. I'm interested in knowing. Let me know when I should be able to read the article.
Oh, shit. Wiz did call.
He did call in?
After we go into this, then call back with, we gonna read this article. This might get people, all up in the tizzy, but
what you got
fuck
the
it. Who gives a fuck, B? You know what I'm saying? We all grown up in here.
We grown.
Shit.
It's an interesting story, and I'm pretty sure you guys will be more settled in your hearts after me reading this, okay? Because I know some people want to curse me out. I felt some type of way, like, people were being judgmental. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But it's just a story. It's a story that is out there. And it's out there for people to cover. It is what it is. All right? Actually, somebody on YouTube did cover the story. It's a very interesting story. So according to steemit.com, a man's masturbates his profoundly disabled son. Profoundly, okay? And you guys probably can see the picture up there when that he's gonna put it up as I'm reading it, and he explains why. So right there, I know you're like, no, I don't give up if he is disabled or not. You suspect. Why are you over there masturbating your son? Like, what's going on? So I know it sounds crazy, but let's see, how you guys feel after I read the article. Sexuality and disability. What Muhammad found in his research was a lot of hush-hush and brick walls, right? He explained that there wasn't a lot of help out here for people in his situation. Therapeutic masturbation. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but I looked it up, and it is well known out there. Therapeutic masturbation. Very interesting. It was at this stage that I soon came to realize that there was no alternative way to provide the therapeutic masturbation that my son needed other than to apply therapeutic masturbation on my own. Muhammad explains in a blog, right? And I wish I could show you another picture of his son. Okay, the reactions. Muhammad explained his son's reaction to the first treatment was saying, I remember how my son expressed a sense of relief, delight, and happiness with a smile followed by laughter and the sound of contentment when I applied the therapeutic masturbation. Public awareness. Muhammad says he understands the controversy behind the therapy procedure, but hopes his blog will bring light a little to discuss the topic. All right, that was like the small backhand story of it. All right, listen. This man has a child, a son. I'm not going to say a child. He's not a child anymore. I just used the word child on the internet because he is his child, right? No matter how old you get. But the person is probably way over 30 now because I don't know when this blog has been out since the early 2000s, right? And a man by Muhammad in South Africa has a, profoundly disabled child who grew up to be a young adult. And when he would bathe him, he, as a man, you know how you feel, right? Men, let me know if it's just too far-fetched. When he would bathe him, he would, he would stand up. He would man up, right? And it brought him to the idea of, wow, I never really took into consideration that this is my son now is a man, a full-grown man, and he needs to ejaculate, right? So before he went in and did it himself, he did a lot of research about it. It was really heavy on his mind. He really loves his son, right? And then he even went on to apply, according to him, for someone to do the therapies from the insurance or whatever, insurance or whatever program that he was using to care for his son, but they denied him. So he decided to do this himself. All right. Mustafa, who is now 30 years old, has been living with severe disabilities since the birth. So he was born this way. And he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at a young age that has been completely debilitating, right? Muhammad explains that from around the time Mufasa was 17, right, through them puberty years, right, he noticed his son would get erected, man up, during the bath time. And it triggered Muhammad to start researching on sexual functions and disabilities, right? Because it's like, do you dismiss that this isn't a young man, although he has these disabilities, he still may have those sexual feelings just like any other normal man would, right? So that led him to put those two things together, disability and sexual abilities. In the beginning, Muhammad was confused and overwhelmed and with caring for his son, but felt as though so he cares mostly for his son and felt as though that there may be something he can do. And as a father who understood sexual behavior, I knew that my son was trying to express his sexual feelings because of the arousal, and that was happening around his body, and that this sexual behavior was no different than most teenagers encountered after puberty in their personal sexual development, right? Muhammad wrote. He had fear. The father had fear. His biggest war was to encounter came by the way of fear in others. How would others perceive it? And I tell you, it's valid, because me just covering this story, people reacted very interesting to me. Me covering this, and I'm just covering the story, all right? People reacted very interesting. Once again, I did use the word child, but still. I mean, we're in a world where so much is happening, nothing's new for us. But still, people reacted a certain kind of way. Even if I said medically, they still just heard that word child and masturbation, and it was already turned off. He stated that the issue itself is rarely discussed because of its fear. There is a taboo in discussing general sexual matters, such as masturbation in society, period, right? And this attitude gets aggravated in discussion of sexuality of persons and disabilities. He states, Muhammad was able to find a literature on sexual therapy and sex workers who were trained to help people with disabilities, but says none of which were available to his son. He states from insurance issues, therapy was out, and they were not qualified for it legally. Sex workers in South Africa area are not, I guess there's not a lot out there. So this is in South Africa. But he can't go get a little, little mamacita, whatever, however they do it out there or whatever. So he was really put up in the corner.
But this is a unique situation. I mean, you have to pay a lot, you hear me, for a woman, you know what I'm saying? Because women, I mean, not women, but people.
Well, like prostitution?
Yeah. Not even,
they be charging. They be charging.
I mean, yeah.
So I don't even know if he afford it. Shit, because the gentleman's club, hundreds and thousands. Yeah, like, it's crazy.
It's crazy, but you got to keep in mind that this brother here was really looking at the fact that we as men, the men on the call, when you tense, your body gets tight. You know what I'm saying? Your muscles.
If you don't ejaculate after a while.
No, I'm not. No.
When you're tense.
Yeah. I mean, you backed up there.
The whole point is you're backed up.
Strong. You know what I'm saying? You'll be dumb strong.
That's why the mentally disabled people.
That's why boxers don't.
Oh.
They don't. They have to abstain from that type of activity because
it makes them stronger.
It keeps the stamina up. You know what I'm saying? And
Very
to a degree, it is in like. About them being stronger.
That's very interesting.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that you as a man get tense. So anybody, like I said, this grown folk talking. You know what I'm saying? When a man or woman, when you have that moment, when you climax and you get to that point, you are utterly and overly relaxed. You know what I'm saying? You good in the hood.
So that's how it goes with you guys.
So keep in mind that this young man here is dealing with.
He in his 30s now, so it's it started.
The child is in his 30s,
right? He noticed him when he was 17, but this person is 30 now,
right?
So he ain't never.
He is a male. No matter what type of debilitating situation he's dealing with. He's still a male. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, would you do it to your son though? Like, that's what trips people out. Okay, I want to read his would you do it? Like, would you have the heart?
I'm gonna wait to get some answers in the chat before I say something. You know what I'm saying?
I am like rolling.
Yeah,
he
she wasn't asking me. She was asking y'all.
He want to hear from you guys before he
she wasn't asking me.
Before
she was asking
he gave
y'all.
his commentary on
y'all brothers do that.
Oh my God.
You know, for your son. I ain't gonna say to him. You know what I'm saying? But would you do it for him? You know.
So he explained that his son's reaction to the first treatment by saying, I remember how my son expressed a sense of relief. So something like what you were saying, it was a delight and happiness with a smile. He was smiling, followed by laughter and other sounds of contentment. And when so he's seen a difference in his son. That's without a doubt. And he states that it led to calmness in his son and behavior, and he continued to show his contentment and happiness all around him. So he understands this is controversy because of where he lives at, and you know him not be able to, or maybe he didn't just want to go too far in asking another woman. Like I don't know. But what do you guys think about that story? It's a very unique story, and also there should be some dialogue and conversations in regard to sexuality and disabilities, because there are a lot of people who have Down syndrome. There are a lot of people who have certain disabilities, but they're adults. They're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and do you dismiss their sexual part of them? And how do you address it? I mean, being backed up, boy, I can imagine. You know, he must have been tense. Shoot, he must have been like Superman. And now that I think of it, the couple of times that I've come across, and these people were adults, come across people who had disabilities, they were like fussy and fighting and hitting and kicking and doing all of that stuff. So I'm wondering, you know, has that been an issue for them, and does that lead to their behaviors and how they act out or how they respond to things, right? So men, I want to hear from y'all. Females too, would you masturbate? I mean, at the end of the day, it's your child. I'm pretty sure if it was someone else, it wouldn't be that bad, but this is your child you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So how do you even mentally get yourself to do that? Now, obviously, this is a father who loves his son dearly and wanted his son to, you know, he wanted his son to feel some type of ways like he would as a man. So he was willing to do whatever he had to do for his baby. Grown baby, that is.
Word, ain't nobody questioning his love for his son at all.
Now, do y'all find that? Do y'all find like he's just using that as an excuse? But at the end of the day, he has brought it forth. He wanted awareness, so he came forth and started reaching out to the blogs and wanted to have a dialogue about this. So this is how serious this man is about. You know, listen, get these babies right, get these young adults right, and start addressing the situation. What do y'all think? You can read what the chat is talking about real quick. Shout out to the chat. Make sure you guys please share, send this link to friends and family. I want them to hear the story. I want them to give their commentary about it, because it's a very unique one, right? Should we say a very unique story, a very controversial and judgmental story. So I would like to hear what they think about it.
All right, so what the chat is saying right now,
nobody.
You know, shout out to all of y'all.
Peace to the gods and goddesses out there.
Yeah, I'm not going to read so much of the conversation from earlier.
Right, you don't have to.
We're not going to get into that.
What y'all think about that story, though?
Yeah, we want to know what's going on.
Because I know y'all was like, what are they talking about? They've lost their minds for sure.
Rocky said, yo, what in the holy hell is going on?
Who said that?
Rocky.
Okay. Rocky's like, what is going on?
He said, and Solar says, how or why would find out what goes on in this man and his family's private affairs? You know.
I'm sorry. Can
I
you
think he's
repeat
saying
that?
How and why would anybody find out or whatever? You got to clarify that one, Solar.
Right.
Peace to Damascus in the building.
Peace.
You know what
How
I'm saying?
are you?
D-Mass.
Hey, what's up?
Ask the Red. It said, man.
You ain't feeling it?
We had about 7, 8 ends at the end of that. Man.
I am rolling right now.
Then they say,
you're not feeling
a
it?
disabled child is only aware of sexuality through experience. Otherwise, they will not be aware of it.
So naturally, like when you go through puberty, right? That's like a natural phase in someone's life, right? Especially boys, however y'all go through it. Whether they was aware of it or not, wouldn't it happen? I don't know how this thing goes with the men. How does this thing goes with puberty? Enlighten me a little bit. I do know. I've read on it, so I don't want to say I don't know.
It's a unique
but I need
situation. It's a unique situation.
So let me ask you a question. Let's just say you was just around nature. You didn't have really no influence. Naturally, you would go through your puberty stages, right? Certain changes would happen in your body naturally, whether you wanted to or not. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean,
right.
It's going down, whether you want it to or not.
So the question is, would that apply to a profoundly disabled person or child? Right?
I mean,
do we ignore that?
I mean, I will agree to a point, to an extent,
okay.
What they're saying, because it is mental. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Remember, sexuality, the act, sensuality, and all of those things
are mental.
They do tie. They it's like a bridge that connects your physical self with your spiritual self.
This is true.
Because the spiritual act or the physical act can lead to very spiritual results. You know what I'm saying?
And vice versa. And physical results, right?
I mean, physical results being that you're going to be tired, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to ejaculate. You're going to...
you pop that cork, you're going to be like, yo, I need a few minutes.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
What is it?
But shout out to killbadcredit.com.
All right, what's popping?
Kill all that bad credit.
Kill that bad, yes, kill it. We got to talk to you. We got to kill it.
And then Aster Red said, that's called transmutation of sexual energy.
Right, but the transmutation of sexual energy, I know that.
Yourself up. When you back yourself up.
Okay, we spoke about that, right? That's the spinal retention.
The semen.
Semen retention, right? Yeah. Semen retention that leads into strengthening your spine. Right, we get that part. But what I'm trying to say is we know that sexual is mental is sexual. But I'm just saying just natural things that occur, right? Remember we spoke about men being raped on our show one day? And I said, well, he had to get erect in order for this woman who's raping him to insert the thing in her. So we spoke about you can get erect from anything, right? It can just be erect. Without you, am I correct? You don't even have to really be thinking about nothing like that, and men can still get erect. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah.
Someone's calling. All right. So with that being said,
hold up, we gotta call him. Hold on.
Hold on a minute. Peace to the gods. Make sure you guys share this link with the family and loved ones, because I want to hear everyone's opinion about this. And if you want to call in, please, by all means.
You live with no job.
Peace to the gods. Who's speaking? Hold on a minute. My apology.
Hold up. You gotta cut your...
We don't need no phone off?
No, just
The YouTube?
the Bluetooth.
Okay. 1 minute, guys.
Hold on, Sola.
Oh, that's solar. Okay.
Yeah, we want to make sure everybody getting heard
Bluetooth
tonight.
is off. Bluetooth is off.
Okay. Well, everybody getting heard tonight.
Yeah. I gotta move on to other stuff because you know Nick Cannon is out there impregnating everybody. But you know we'll I'm not sure. We'll just put the phone to the speaker today. We're having some technical situations going on. Let's just speak with the phone right now. Peace, how are you?
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I can't complain. I'm always smiling. So what do you think about this story?
All right. Well, I'm gonna clear up the message that I typed because it didn't come out.
No problem.
The question was, how or why would somebody find out about what goes on in that man's house and his family affairs when it comes to his child? Now, because the situation was brought out that year, his son was profoundly disabled.
Okay.
Okay? And I have to somewhat disagree with one of the chat members.
Okay.
They mentioned that sexuality is found out through experience. But see, Shaka went into the metaphysics, and then you brought it up that puberty, that's when the body goes through its physical changes.
Yes, absolutely.
Many of those changes are involuntary. So,
Absolutely.
I don't know if the chat member is a male or female, but for the males, every one of us had gone through that metamorphosis where we didn't have any control of our sexual organs.
So it's involuntary.
And the term
Okay.
is involuntary, and it's that reason because we're us as males, when we're going through that change, we don't control what happens when we in our sleep. Now,
okay.
many things will go on through your mind, right? And
Right.
again, going back on the metaphysics, right? The men would be referred to as God, right? So just like any experience, out-of-body experiences, what they call the teleportation,
Yes.
you know,
I spoke of that.
your spirit leaves your body when you're sleeping. So you're in it. So for the males, being in such a deep state and going through the experience of that and experiencing their daily emotions when they're observing the women around them, because us as males at that time, we are somewhat attracted more to an older woman because of
That's
their
interesting.
body voluptuousness. So you start thinking certain ways, and then that goes into your subconscious, and then your subconscious takes over when you sleep. So then have the discharge during their sleep.
Right.
You don't control that.
So you don't
to say
control
that,
it.
So to say that sexual, you know, knowing anything sexually is by experience, most times you don't get that experience unless, one, the woman is older. Usually it's the woman is older.
Right.
And she has to teach you certain things. Okay?
Right.
In this man's case, there may not have been a woman because there's no mention about the mother.
Right. There's no mention about the mother. Right.
But
So
this man was like in a situation where he was a single father taking care of his kid, and because his son was in a situation he is profound disabled.
right.
To go through puberty.
Right. So
And I'm pretty sure Dad would not have thought of it
had he not gone through it, right? Him being
until, like you said, he's giving him a bath, and his son getting erect because he's being physically touched. And to him, you know, you could just touch somebody on the neck and they will get sexually aroused. So if he's giving him a bath and he's going to give him a thorough cleaning, of course the young man is going to, get fully aroused.
Right.
So how does a father, maneuver with that?
Right.
It's going to shock them a lot him.
Right. Yeah, because someone's profoundly disabled. I've seen people who are disabled, but they have just like very high IQs. They have inquisitive minds. They're just limited on certain other things, right? So my thing is, like you said, obviously that's what he did need that in his life because he acted differently, right? He was happy. He wasn't so tense, and that should be a dialogue should happen more, and that's what the father is just trying to do. The father is just trying to bring awareness to the situation. He's trying to be awareness. But my question to you is, every time a man is aroused, does it mean that is a sexual thing?
No.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. That's all. So, do you side with what the father did, or you would you do that for your son? That's the question I should really ask. Would you do that for your son if he was profoundly disabled and you noticed something like that? Would you masturbate him?
Well, I know in many cultures. See, that's another thing when Shaka brought up the metaphysical portion of it, right?
Right.
But when we go back into reading certain scriptural texts,
right,
then you notice there's many things that's not mentioned, right?
Right.
And
there's a lot of things out.
It seems like the sexual nature of both a man or a woman that they seem to obliterate out of scriptural texts.
This is true.
Now you gotta ask yourself, if this man experienced this in whatever the time that it took place, whether it was yesterday or 20 years ago or even 50 years ago. At some point in ancient history, there had to be other events where parents had to go through that situation. Now, y'all know I got 2 girls, but I haven't been around them for a number of years, and I know that they be hitting 18 in November. So, whatever they had to experiences that they deal with, I'm hoping that their mother had brains enough to walk them through that. Because I don't know how I would have been able to do that.
Okay, what if it was a male child? Child that happened to be an adult? Because it's your child, but he's an adult.
As a male child, if I was blessed with one, if he had to be in a situation where he had no understanding of what he was going through physically, because I'm pretty sure Dad couldn't have the conversation with birds and bees with him. Because it would have never dawned on him to do so.
Right.
So now, because he's, like I said, he's giving us some cleaning, which, is understandable, but he sees that he's going through these physical, excitement. What else is he left to do? I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to spend the money if he had it. Or he wasn't in financial, able to do it, would purchase a woman or a sexual worker to do that for him.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Saka was going to explain. Many of those women, they think that's kind of off the wall kind of service, and they charge 3 times the amount.
They ain't playing. They charge. Well, if I had a profoundly disabled child, I'm talking to that child like just regular, normal. Because I know a lot of people, I've like worked with them once in a while. I think I volunteered a while ago with them. They understand what you're saying. They just maybe can't respond, or whatever limitations that they may have. But a lot of them comprehend and understand what you're saying, It's just that they can't respond. So I'm talking to my child regular, like, listen here, stick your finger out. Let me know what's going on. I feel like we think too less of them and don't really take the time out to communicate with them, because they will respond. They will respond. Just like some people have been in a coma or something like that, and they can tell you a conversation they had or something was happening, but they just couldn't respond back. But they can hear and comprehend and understand very well. And so these are conversations that maybe have. Shout out to that father, because at the end of the day, who would have thought about that? Who would have considered that for a profoundly disabled person? You know what I'm saying? Who would have even considered that? So I think that is a dialogue well worth having and something to look into. Unfortunately, we have so many predators out there. I damn sure don't want nobody getting a hold of them, because it would just be so hurtful. You know what I mean? It's already hurtful for anyone else. So these predators out here, and we just got to be very careful and diligent when we're dealing with when we're talking about sexual topics.
They
But
say that there's nothing new under the sun.
there's nothing new under the sun. It really isn't. And I appreciate you guys speaking of. He said that shit was real new to me.
That shit new. Brand new.
Very new. So after hearing the story, you guys, how do y'all feel about it? Because what is the chat talking about? I appreciate you, Sola. If you want to stay on, you can stay on. If you want to get off, you want to get off, because we're about to move on. We got a lot of things we got to talk about. All right? What is the chat talking about? What are they saying? Yeah, move on.
Aster Red said, I'll go buy him a job.
All right, I'm in the no judgment zone, so I get it. I don't know if I would be able to do that either. I'm not gonna lie, mentally I wouldn't, but once again, sometimes when you're desperate for something, you get your mind to that level to be able to complete the task that you need to complete, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Eugenio, peace of the God. Pasha's in the building. Shout out to you, Pasha.
What's poppin'?
She says nope.
Nope, it ain't happening. Well, I don't care how you twist the story. Ain't happening. I ain't doing it. I respect that.
Shout out to PJ in the building.
What's up, PJ? How you doing?
He put skull candy up there.
He's like, look. So nobody not feeling it. Now, obviously it got to be because it's your child, right? Yeah. So that's like boundaries. But once again, it's a unique situation. Let's move on real quick. Nick Cannon is out there impregnating everybody and their mama. All right, and
anybody willing to put their womb up for, put their womb on the table.
No, it's not like that. According to him,
like
recently on his show, he had two guests on there, two female guests, the City Girls to be exact. He asked them, how do y'all feel about, there's a rumor about me out there getting people pregnant. And long story short, he said it is strategic. I'm not out there going whatever. I could have impregnated plenty of people. It is strategic. There was a rumor out there saying that, he feels like he doesn't have long to live, and he has he has to do like a bone marrow treatment or whatever, and he's impregnating all these women to get donors, to have a match, because he's on the waiting list. I don't believe that story. That sounds crazy. Obviously the child is going to have to be old enough, and then they're going to have to go through so much in order for that to happen. I don't believe that. Now, people are noticing that the women that he's choosing, and this is the word that they use, not me, them, that they're not pro-black. You know what I'm saying? So they feel like he has an issue with black women. My question to you guys is, how do y'all feel about him going out and strategically or planning, as he say that's what he's doing, and impregnating multiple women? Do you have an issue with that? What do y'all think about that? A lot of people have an issue with it. Some people did bring up that Solar, are you still on? He's off. Some people did bring up that why he just didn't get a woman who's fertile and impregnate her multiple times, opposed to going around and impregnating everybody else. So what do y'all think about that? I'm actually, I believe I'm going to give my commentary on it. I'm going to give my commentary on it. I'm pretty sure for some it may be interesting to you guys, but so with that type of setting, you have a financial perspective, right? I'm pretty sure he can financially provide for everyone, but you have a spiritual, a physical, and a mental perspective of it all, right? For the females, himself, and the children. So what do y'all think? He out there, he's popping them bellies. He's out there, you know. Shout out to Nick, man. I love you, man. I love Nick. I love him, you know, in a good way. I love him. You know, I feel like he is a very intelligent brother. I feel like he brings a lot to the table outside of the regular nuances with the media and all of the drama. So he popping them babies out there. He popping. What the chat talking about? If y'all want to call in. Give me a commentary.
Let's talk about it.
Sisters, I want to hear from y'all too.
Don't be scared, motherfucker.
Don't be scared. It's all right.
Pasha said the broken family structure at its best.
Woo. Why you think so? I got Pasha,
She
please.
talking to y'all brothers. What y'all got to say about
call
that? Man?
in on that. Why do you think that? Why do you think it's broken? I really want to hear that, because why do you think it's broken? I want to paint some scenarios, but I don't want to give what my beliefs and understanding is until I hear from you guys. Why do you think that? Why do you think that? I'm interested in knowing. Please call in. Call in. Let me know. Who else? What the chat talking about? What's going on? I can't wait to behind the scenes with this one here. Y'all gonna laugh. What they talking about? I tried to prevent this and it still didn't work for me.
Shout out to MCTNT.
What's popping, bro? Call in. What's going on?
He said, hell no, but everyone has their own opinion.
Everyone do. And you have the right to yours. You have the right to yours. Okay, is someone calling in? Oh, boy. Okay, peace to the gods. Who are we speaking to?
Eugene.
What's going on? What's going on, Eugene? How are you?
I'm good.
So, you're calling in regards to the Nick Cannon situation. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Broken home, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's popping all these kids and stuff around.
Okay.
But he ain't gonna be, you know, he's not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's at the home. You know, and it's the same scenario. So I think he's a simp anyway. You know, with the situation with the Moors
right
situation. You know, when he had said what he said about the Jews and stuff, and he backed down because they were going to take away his money. You know, and
do you your perception of how he moved with that, does that play a role in what he's doing now, and what you know, how you feel about him impregnating women around? Is that, you know,
no, I just think that it's the same scenario, you know, in our community. You know, we have a whole bunch of kids all over the place, and there's no structure, you know, there's no father structure in the household, you know, so at the end of the day, you know, feeding the same shit. I mean, he got money.
He got the money.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But what does money have to do with the fact that he's not in the household?
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you is, if he was in the household, it wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Okay.
You know, or you know, maybe have all the wives that he impregnated living in the same place, you know, and and coming home. It has
to be structured. It has to be structured.
He's being a role model to the other brothers out here, you know. So they like, oh, if Nick Cannon can do it, I can do it too.
Well, I don't know if any brothers will be following that, because the first thing they're thinking about is child support. So I don't know how far that will go. But I get what you're saying. It's still it still can be an influence on others. But I mean, others are doing it. It's nothing new under the sun. This is something that's been happening, especially with our culture of people. It's just like you said, the structure is not there. Once the structure is there, is amazing. I need you guys to call in. Give me your commentary about this before I move on. I need to know, like, somebody out there. Okay, I have to read what a sister said. You know, because she disagreed with that. You know, is a problem. I want to read. I don't want to dilute her words. I don't even want to paraphrase her words. And I wish she can call in. I'm gonna see if she can call in. But go ahead, Eugenia. You speak until I get it.
No, I believe. Well, we know that, you know, when the father's not in the household, you know,
right.
The boy doesn't grow into a man, and the woman, you know, or the girl don't know how to treat a man. So, you know, it's, I mean,
or not how to work with a man, how to treat a man. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely.
What's her name? What's her name? Sasha Ali?
Yes.
What's her?
Yes. Shahrazad.
Yeah, Shahrazad Ali said it, and I mean, what she said in the 70s.
Yeah.
and it's just gotten worse.
It has. I concur. In my opinion. So, my Facebook friend. Well, I don't know, my friend. We are so misled to think that this is a burden or hardship. You know what? Even light-skinned children, well, because now she's speaking about the what I said people were saying in regards to the actual woman that he chooses. You know, he seems to be choosing more fair-skinned women and a certain type of woman so far. And someone else is calling in. Hold on. We're going to see who that is. You know what? Even light-skinned children with white daddies thought they were privileged because they ate dinner with the daddy. It didn't matter. That's going to go above beyond some people's head. Okay, whoever that is, they're going to have to mute the YouTube in the background. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, hold up.
Or just turn your background down.
Yeah, turn it down. Maybe you don't have to mute.
You don't have to mute, no, but just turn it down.
Turn it down. Hello? Hello?
I said I'm muted.
Okay, peace. Who am I speaking to?
It's Nua.
Oh, hi, Nuba. I don't know why I'm asking. How you doing, God? Peace to the God. How are you?
Peace to the God.
How's it? I know you want to give your commentary on this. Like, break it to us, brother. Give it to me slow.
I am blessed, magnificently rich, highly favored.
Ashe, brother. So what do you think about this?
First and foremost.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think you have to turn the background down.
This is what's going on.
What's going on?
There's nothing but the divine goddess that these niggas need to start learning to worship.
Ooh, okay. 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 Your voice kind of like went out.
Now.
Okay, go ahead.
As far as I know, paradise lies at the feet of the mother. What the media is doing. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you great now. Go ahead, I hear you.
See, okay, I can continue now. Cause there's a delay. I'm looking at you on TV.
Yeah, but I think you gotta turn.
Like a snack.
Look at, you gotta, I think I can hear the background. I can hear you. I can hear you, God. Nuva. You gotta turn the background down. I can hear.
I gotta turn it down.
Yes, God, please. I appreciate it. Because I want people to get this message. Because I know you're gonna bring. Okay. I can still. Maybe you're gonna have to turn. You got to turn your YouTube off completely, maybe, because I still hear the background.
Oh, I got something for you.
Yes, I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. And I believe the mindset that you have and understanding that you have, Nick may have that same understanding. That sounds better. Oh, that sounds perfect. Okay.
Okay, so that means I gotta just listen to you.
Yes. I love him. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, here's what's going on. First and foremost, everything that we as males have learned how we supposed to be macho man, niggas, y'all better step up to the plate. Y'all are nothing but women on the hardcore divine feminine side. You're a divine God, and she's a divine goddess. But listen, I just finished watching something, and now I'm on point here of looking at someone that brings forth life. So all these, see, they got it twisted, whereas you got homeless children, you know, this, that, and the third, but y'all don't need nothing. Women don't need nothing, but we need y'all. So what happens if you're put to sleep? If the woman is put to sleep, we put to sleep. Okay?
Okay, following you.
Being a so-called, what you might say, male energy, whatever, no. The divine mother, once we get back in sync, then the children will be back in sync. Okay? The children will be back in sync. Now, how do you do that? You got to just find out who the divine mother is. It's life itself. But it's in female and male, in the child, etc. It's in life itself. That's the great divine mother. Everybody forgot that damn thing that's going on. What I'm expressing is that most women don't even know what a yoni is. Most males don't know what a lingam is. Most of them don't know that the tree of life ain't nothing but the cross. North, south, east, west. That's found in the womb. That's found in your pussy. Out of the darkness came the light. But they got us on this, Are y'all mature enough to hear this conversation? That's what I'm saying. Put the kids to bed.
The kids are bed. This is not PG-13. Go ahead, God. Keep it going.
Exactly. I read the little shout out. I downloaded that video about if your son need to learn how to masturbate, would you help him speak?
Right.
I will show him mentally how to visualize a fat ass pussy and stick something in it so he can get that energy that way.
Well, they got toys now, so I don't, you know. But yeah.
Listen to me. We got to reprogram our thinking.
We do.
Point
This is true.
blank and simple. If I talk, go back to Angkor Wat. Go back to see the statues. The statues don't lie. They had a show enough sex party going on. Now, Isis, sexual sister.
Isis.
Hathor,
Ooh.
sexual sister, goddess. The hippopotamus. Y'all hypnotize us with your hips.
So let me ask you,
Okay.
brother. We got the mother goddesses, and this brother is planting his seed in them, and they look so happy. They look peaceful. Whatever they planned is what they planned. Do you see anything wrong with that? Because we are trained that the male has to be in the household and everything got to be together. Can it also be structured that way? Is there anything wrong with it, or do you consider that structure? Should I say?
Let me tell you something. That structure is completely wrong.
Okay.
That's I'm gonna tell you what. The only structure that I agree with is when you go back into the nature and the nurturing of what we as star children needed when we first came out the womb.
We star.
What they got going on in the TV land is to take you away from where you really supposed to be focusing on. Me. Family. Each one teach one. You see?
Each one teach one.
I want you to know, I ain't mad at you.
No.
But at the end of the day, do you know who you really are? I'm talking to the sisters, divine goddesses out there.
Do you know who you
Because
really
the shit didn't start till the damn child got in some age or some sick dude said, okay, this is going on, or some sick dude said this is going on. Don't y'all know there's a damn near 200,000 children buried or killed for experimental purposes?
Yes.
There's the action. I ain't gonna say it so much, but I'm like, this is dead children running around here now, and they'll snap you up because they're soul snapped. But look, that situation with them clowns, I don't like it because it's not nurturing nature. It's not changing nothing. Is it?
Ashe. I get it.
Change. Same shit, same day, different body, different frequency. Now let's do something different. Let's put the divine mother in everything that we see. And start with yourself. Now how you change that? Nurture her. Y'all women don't need shit. Don't need a fucking man. We need y'all.
Ashe.
We need to protect y'all. Therefore, the star children that come out will be so fucked up. Look at all these babies running around here. That's 20-something years ago. Look at what we're doing on 20-something years ago. Yeah. I see you on TV. You want me to shut it down? Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I mean, there's nothing more to say.
I disagree. I disagree with that.
You're supposed to disagree.
I disagree with that because women need men in the same way that we need a woman. But
stop. Before you say that, hold God, I'm gonna give you that courtesy. What is the elemental property of a male? Is he electric or magnetic? And vice versa with a female. Is she electric or magnetic? Answer that, then you come up with that damn answer you disagree with. Come on.
All right, answer that. Are men electric or magnetic? Well, go ahead.
A male is magnetic. I mean, it's electric.
Wrong answer, nigga. Wrong answer. I'll give you the source. Now, you come on. I say you're wrong now.
I said electric.
Oh, you said the male was magnetic. I hear very well.
He changed it.
I meant to say, before you said wrong.
Say what you mean. Say what you mean. For your mouth was duper. Say what you mean.
Duper.
Thank God. I love you. I know you will.
Let me tell you something. This, women are goddesses and all this other stuff. It's cool.
Is it cool or is it?
She's a goddess.
Okay.
That's right.
Because you got women out here today talking about I'm a goddess and this and that, and are more poison than anything else.
That's right.
And we as men, we need to correct that. We need to.
That's right.
But she wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And when she right. You know what I'm saying? And we need to.
How you gonna be right when you're doing right by yourself, God?
I was just about to say
how she's supposed to act, but you don't know how she's supposed to act. You ain't acting how she's supposed to act.
Right, I was about to say it's both ways. That's the thing. We gotta stop pointing the finger.
We gotta step it up.
Nah, we ain't talking about women, nigga. Oh, stop right there, God. Look, let's talk about me and you. Let's talk about me and you. What are you doing internally to pass on that torch that you know for your garbage? What are you doing? Your garbage is even with your baby, nigga. I say that affectionately. Naga, snake, certain people coming from the ocean, all life, bro.
I'm elevating myself. I know.
No, listen. I said, listen. You, God, I love you. We ain't arguing. Steel sharpens steel. What I'm saying to you, with the divine suggestion coming from one titan to the next, one ethereal to the next. Where is the goddamn divine mother inside of you, nigga, that you can pass on to the other divine goddess? Now talk.
Yeah, listen, like I said, elevation, man. You gotta elevate yourself. You gotta understand who you are, who your ancestors are. You gotta, you as a man, you're supposed to be nurturing. You could also be nurturing too. You know what I'm saying? But that's not our nature. Our nature is logic. To be logic. To be
Stop right there. Stop. Tell it prove. You got a fucking left side of your brain and a right side, nigga. One is feminine, one is positive. One is electric, one is magnetic. What the mean you ain't no motherfucking female? Stop the dumb shit. You got both natures in you. You got the empowered, the divine goddess in your ass.
Absolutely.
That's like the heart.
Absolutely.
You can't see the divine heart. Let me listen. I gotta cut the wisdom. If you don't see the divine goddess in your monkey ass, how the fuck you gonna bring it out of her?
Absolutely.
When you only proved you.
You gotta let me talk, man.
I'm sorry, brother. I apologize. That's that ethereal shit coming out. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Go ahead.
I love it.
Of course, if you're not in tune with your feminine side, you can't bring it out of her. Absolutely. But our job, is to be the logic. And logic, women tend to be emotional, right? And we have a lot of emotional men today, and that's the problem. Because there's an imbalance, on this planet, because most women today are masculine. They got that masculine.
I agree.
I don't want to cut you off, but
you know why I'm laughing? You said one key word: imbalancement.
Eugenio, I have a question. He had mentioned about women being goddess, and you stated a lot of women are saying they goddesses, and I'm paraphrasing, and they acting deviant, right? Now you said a lot of men are, acting a certain type of, but you also said that when the women are that way, you have to address it. You have to let her know, right? When she's this way,
right.
Who's gonna address the men? If you said a lot of men are, acting a certain type of way, who's gonna address the men?
We do.
The goddess that has awakened. The goddess that has awakened. The man will address the man. The goddess that has awakened.
So, right.
No, listen. When the master becomes a student, and the student becomes the fucking master, that's an occult law. The master must become the student, and the student must become the master. The divine goddess and the student awakens the divine goddess and the master. And the only way you're going to receive this is by what? Tantra yoga, pranayama, mantras, sigils, sound,
vibrations, frequencies.
eating the right frequency foods that are alkaline, fasting, smoking weed, drinking liquor.
Smoking weed. No, those are elements. The ancestors used them, I must say.
When you do that, you change. Then the ancestors, the Etherians, will speak to your ass with the side of you to guide you on how to treat the divine goddess, which is awakening inside your ass. Like it types right, opposites repel.
Okay, we got Wiz on the line.
Hey, Wiz.
Peace to the gods. What's your opinion?
I got proof. When we get online Sunday class or whatever,
You got proof?
I'm gonna give you all this shit in hardcore pictures.
I'm gonna make sure everybody on this bill right there, listen, this is the brother and he knows his stuff. So Sunday is gonna be on. It's gonna be on. He gonna speak about the divine goddess so some of you sisters who wanna know who you are, man, and wanna get in tune with yourself, you listen to this brother here. But Brother Wiz, are you on right now? Is he on? Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. I'm sorry, Eugenio. If you didn't finish your thought in anything, we don't mean to cut you off. Please.
No. I had muted out because I'm in the store at the moment.
Hey, Wiz, where you at? He might have dropped. Did you drop Wiz? Alright, well, in the meantime, in between time, what we're going to do here is, let me shout out some of the kinfolk in the building so far.
What's going on?
Wiz, PJ, Silence L in the building. Peace to the gods.
Peace to the gods.
You know what I'm saying? It was somebody else. Oh, Taiwan Barber.
What's going
Peace
on?
was popping. So what I would like to do what I would like to do real fast.
Real quick and fast?
Real quick and real fast.
Thank you.
Is I want to bring in a video. Now, it's gonna be a funny video, cause this shit is this shit yo, this shit here is funny as hell.
According to him, okay?
Yes, there is.
This shit here funny.
That's a him.
Stop checking my wood.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
And we also want to bring in another video right after that. Yeah, this is what we do.
I'm sorry, I'm mute.
Okay, peace, God. Appreciate
another
you.
video right after that. Let me just make sure I got that other video.
Where's? Okay.
Yeah, where is the video?
That's interesting. He's
okay, here we go.
all right, you guys. Let's get to it. This is what happens in the world, man. You need a little bit of laughter. It keep us going. We need laughter, and there's some people out there who play too much. They play too much. He's not. He is something going on, so he can't. He can't.
Let me get Wiz back on. Oh, there you go.
Peace to the gods.
Peace.
Peace. How are you?
You hear me?
Yes, very well. How are you doing?
I'm not hearing nothing.
You can't hear anything? You don't hear me?
Wiz,
Hello?
Wiz, what up?
What's that?
Who's smoking, man?
All right. So at this point, we're gonna have to continue.
Yeah, we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this video real quick.
Let's get to this video really quick. All right. I need you guys to
And
stay
anybody
tuned.
that knows our brother Nuba,
If you can hear me, I can't hear nothing.
that it's your phone, B. Everybody else can hear.
We
but you.
can hear you. All right. Go ahead. Play the video.
All right, check this out. Real quick, live.
have a few more helping us, notifying their chain of command of what's going on. We're still here. We're still safe. The lieutenant has informed us that they're going to move some of their vehicles, and they're doing that now. It's cold out here, so I'm shivering. That's why I sound like this. We've been out here since about 2 a.m. It's about 4 a.m. It's so we've been out here since 1:53 a.m. It is July 3rd, 2021. We are in North America, Morocco. We are on the Interstate 95 near exit 57.4. The mile marker is right near this police vehicle, which they're going to be moving it soon, and I'll be able to walk up because I don't want them to think anything funny. But in fact, I'll just show you for the record because we already assured them that we're going to be peaceful, so they have nothing to worry about. But the mile marker was right here, so that's where we are. I reassured them that we are not sovereign citizens. I reassured them that we are not black identity extremists. I reassured them that we are not anti-police. I reassured them that we are not anti-government. I reassured them that these men here will not be pointing guns at them. I reassured them that we're trying to come to a peaceful resolution. I reassured them that I'm willing to give them any information that is necessary to ensure that we can come to a peaceful resolution, so that way they can issue a summons to us in court and handle this civilized. I've also specified how, according to the United States Supreme Court, Younger versus the state of Hawaii, the United States Supreme Court stated how the possession of a firearm is not a crime. It constitutes no offense, which means they have no right or authority to detain us. I also specified how, according to the United States federal law, we have the right to peaceful journey. So, with that being said, we should not have been detained here. We were not pulled over. We had stopped to fuel our vehicle. I'm going to show you for the record. I also have a body cam. It's still recording. My body cam is right here. The red light indicates that that's recording. Our vehicle is full of camping equipment, which supports what I said about how we're going to our private land to train, which is our Second Amendment right. I also specified how, according to the federal laws of the United States, peaceful journey, we have the right to travel as long as we're not making any unnecessary stops. I assured the police that we prepared for this because we prepared to abide by federal law, the federal laws of the United States, including the treaty laws of the United States. So I ensured them that we had planned to fill up these fuel tanks, which I'm about to show you right now, so that way we don't have to make any unnecessary stops, so that way we could have just passed through their state. They specified how they were trying to protect public security and public peace, and I specified how we were just traveling through. We weren't going to stop, and we weren't going to stop at any gas stations because that could have alerted the public, which is why we have the gas tanks right here and right here. So that way we can avoid having to stop at gas stations, so that way we don't alert the public, and there's no need for them to be here. But they're the reason why we're still here. We've been asking to go on our peaceful journey. Yeah. Yes, I do. I'm live right now. All right. All right. Can you hold this and just point it at them?
Yep. Bro, it is cold out here, man. Just a reminder to everyone out there, we've committed no crimes. They had no probable cause to stop us in the first place. And right now, here we are. Over again. We're on I-95 North, mile marker 57.4, in front of exit 57. We're here with our nation's flag, and they're violating foreign treaties. We're not U.S. citizens. We're Americans, American nationals.
Up to one of the Moore brothers. Can you enlighten us on what happened? So there was a brother who was stopped by the patrol, right?
No, they didn't get stopped. They were on the side.
They were on the side?
On the side of the road.
Okay.
And they were refueling.
Okay.
You know, and what happened was the police came, saw them.
Okay.
Probably saw that, these dudes got guns and tactical gear and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, you know, see, this is the thing. When you look at like how the news presents it, They talking about something. They trying not to have it escalate and all of this other stuff. Meanwhile, these brothers were taken into custody, and it didn't escalate. So you got to understand how they're presenting the information to make you think that these brothers has some type of malicious intent.
In layman's terms, what do you call that? Fake news.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say bullshit, but
it's
same
fake
thing.
News.
You know.
So they're considering these brothers now, okay, terrorists. That's what they're calling them in the news.
Right, and he made it clear we're not domestic terrorists. We're not black identity extremists.
We're not sovereign citizens.
We're not sovereign citizens.
We're not anti-police.
Sovereign citizens is a misnomer. It doesn't even exist.
And if y'all want to know more about that, we have a Sunday bill that will clear all of that up. Moors versus sovereign citizens. And what does this all mean? I don't want to say versus. Moors, sovereign citizens, aboriginals of the country, aborigines. We can break all that down. But that's a whole nother lesson.
If anybody tells you that they're a sovereign citizen,
run.
Then they're a fool. Point blank.
But if you want to study
what that is,
if you want to be in a really a good study group with knowledgeable people, we'll put that email. We'll put the email where you can email, and you'll get weekly links, weekly Zoom links every Sunday. And believe me, it will blow your mind away when you hear some of these brothers. Actually, this brother is going to be bringing some more information on Sunday to the study group.
Right.
But let's cover
it. I think you asked me. I think that was propaganda. You know why? Because not so long ago in Georgia, you had that militia. What do you call that militia? No fucking around militia.
Right. Oh yeah. What happened to them?
And they came by, and they didn't get detained or nothing like that. And all of a sudden, now they're detaining these brothers over here. But I think he's an agent myself. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to discourage people and taint, the Moors. You know what I'm saying? Discourage people from honestly investigating who they are and stuff like that.
Right.
Because that's ridiculous.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of heard the brother a couple of times on Facebook and stuff, and he does a lot of statutorial stuff. Like, why would you say that you abide by federal rules when you said that
Yes.
I mean, he sounded
Can you cut me out for a minute?
In terms of what he was saying.
Right,
like, how do you say I'm abiding by federal rules and then say that you're sovereign? You know?
No,
like, that doesn't make any sense.
Who are you talking about? The militia guy or this one from the video?
The guy from the video.
He said that he wasn't sovereign. So my question is, what is he? What does he consider himself? That would be my question. And that's something that I'm going to have to research a little bit more. But he's going to play another video. My face should be blacked out for a little bit. He's going to play another video, an update of what's going on with them in court. So can we get that that footage?
Yeah, we're going to go to that and we're going to come back.
Okay. We'll go to that footage. Let's go.
Stephen Latimer says his son, the man in that video, changed his name a few years ago when he joined the Moors. The group says they are not citizens of the United States, instead claiming to be Aboriginal. Stephen Latimer says his son, the man in that video, changed his name a few years ago when he joined the Moors. The group says they are not citizens of the United States, instead claiming to be Aboriginal Indigenous Americans and therefore not governed by U.S. laws. A distinction they plan to use in this Massachusetts court, citing a resolution from Georgia.
That is a bill from Georgia that speaks about Moorish Americans being Aboriginal Indigenous to North, South, and Central America. And that is a document that's used, that can be used everywhere under the full faith and credit clause.
Other members of the group plan to be in court, not as lawyers, but in support.
My plan is to be there in full support of my fellow men, my fellow Moors. That's it. I am not representing anyone. These men will make their own presentment.
They all are briefed enough to be able to make their own cases in front of the judge. Stephen Latimer says his son, the man in that video, changed his name a few years ago when he joined the Moors. The group says they are not citizens of the United States, instead claiming to be Aboriginal Indigenous Americans and therefore not governed by U.S. laws. A distinction they plan to use in this Massachusetts court, citing a resolution from Georgia.
That is a bill from Georgia that speaks about Moorish Americans being Aboriginal and Indigenous to North, South, and Central America. And that is a document that's used, that can be used everywhere under the full faith and credit clause.
Other members of the group plan to be in court, not as lawyers, but
So, you guys heard it. It's very interesting, right? This is how the news covered it. They didn't really say too much about it, but they just pretty much just said, this is what they state themselves to be. If they have substantial, if they have lawful information that proves who they are, that can stand in the court of law, point blank and period, right? That's what lawyers do. So, what do you guys think about that? I want to know the outcome of their court, hearing. I want to know the outcome of it because I know it should be successful, and if it's successful, since their case hit the news in such a way that it did, it really puts things on the map as to how we're supposed to handle and conduct ourselves. We have a caller that's going to be calling in pretty soon. Are you calling the caller? Okay, all right. Who are you putting back on? There's someone else I want you to call. They're trying to get the...
Okay, what's the number?
Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah. I was hearing that when I first called.
I don't know what was going on. Hold on. Okay, what's the number?
Yeah, I got a fire. Listen, I got a fire alarm going off here.
Alright, so handle your scandal and call back.
Right. The number, can they hear me on the show? I don't want to say somebody's number. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Right here. On the top. All right, we're going to be calling in a caller. He had called, so we missed this call, and he has something to say in regards to the previous topic. I don't know.
Hello?
Peace, how are you doing?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Just eat finally. I just clocked out.
Oh.
And, hold on. And I'm trying to get casting back on my debt. How are you? You doing good?
I'm wonderful. We're still on the show. I thought that you want to give your commentary about the...
Okay, so I'm sorry to go.
You can put it back on.
So,
What?
from watching I never even seen. That's my first time seeing it. That just tells me and I'll just bring it back from after the George Floyd verdict when the cop got arrested or got his life at 20 years.
Right.
Right after that shooting, it was like a nigger spree, wasn't it? And I say that not even being judicious, that's what it seemed like. 11 people dead in a week. And that Sunday was when the last dude got shot in his back.
Wow.
That sort of let me know, even though they gave the dude 20 years, they don't want me in this country. I'm not equal to them. Me personally, I'm not a mammal. They're mammals. Half man, half animal. I'm a god, so like, there's nothing, this law, this land, this nothing I wanted this government. So I liked them more than how they did it and standing up and all that stuff. But to me, it's just the end times. That's all I see.
Wow. Oh, wow, that's great. What about the Nick Cannon situation? I know the brother was, really speaking about his understanding of the position of a goddess and a god, and what does that mean, and who needs who. I know. Well, how do you feel about what he had said? How do you feel?
I was, I'll put it to you like this. What Nick Cannon said. I can tell you from just what your questioning was. So I'm a god, right? It took me, I'm 45.
Okay.
It took me 35 years to realize, if it's not for man, I mean, I stand on my own regardless. But if I had a goddess, I would be empowered. A woman is empowered regardless. She might not be strong physically, more physically than a man.
Right.
But mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, it has men beat. So, like, it's only common sense for me. Like, I just took it back.
Right.
Man, speaking for myself, I'm all over the damn place. So I think, and then we see it in parenting, right? Not saying all guys are deadbeats and stuff like that, but it's the women holding shit down. When I was in prison, it's the women holding shit down. Nigga can say whatever he wants, like, yeah, me and my man's and them, but it's the goddess.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it personally.
Wow, that's a great one. So now Nick Cannon is out there impregnating women. He seems to have some plan that, is none of our business, and we are all aware of it. What do you feel about that?
He's playing that. He's playing with it. So I think he said he's a Hebrew Israelite or something like that. Not knocking it. He doesn't even have knowledge of self, right?
Right.
Personally. And then he's using that title to, when you're in your crown chakra, you're not fucking everything that's moving and pregnant and every goddess and then leaving them out. Matter of fact, I did see that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's bugging. Because if you respected a goddess, you respected yourself, you see your reflection. So you wouldn't be doing that because you would know that shit. But these fellows just not understand the mathematics of what he's preaching.
I think, he did claim to be a Moor at one time, and he was wearing a turban. So I guess he's going through his many different stages of school of thought and understanding self. So I don't know if he claimed to be a Hebrew Israel after or before claiming to be a Moor, but whatever is whatever. Now he's back on singing church music and working out on Instagram.
Small disclaimer.
What is the disclaimer?
Hebrew Israelites and Moors are pretty much one and the same.
Okay.
That's news to me. Okay.
Yeah, they're one and the same because it comes from.
This one I'll forget it, so I'm gonna throw it out there. So the Moors, right? So when the crackers say the Dark Ages, that's when the Moors taught the crackers. They just came out of the cave and they used to walk on all fours. So the Moors taught them how to walk upright, taught them cut their tails because a lot of them had tails and all that type of shit. It was the Moors that helped the Caucasians. Matter of fact, Caucasians taught them how to clean.
Can you hold on 1 minute?
How to wash and stuff like that.
1 minute, Rocky. We have another caller. Peace to the God.
The crackers fixing and everything's been whitewashed ever since. So
right. Okay. So that's your understanding of it, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Okay. Peace to the God. Who do we have, Brother Nubu on the line?
Peace to the goddess and the God.
Thank you.
I mean, you can stay on. You can stay on if you want.
Stay on. We have another caller on. Hello?
Hello?
I'm back.
Okay. You can stay on, Rocky, if you want to. If not, you can hang up. It's up to you.
I want to apologize if I seem like I was kind of on fire.
Right.
Nah, don't worry about it.
You don't have to apologize. That's you.
Listen,
Man, you already know fire. That's passion.
Yeah, we
You
know
don't
who you are.
apologize. We already know who you are, God.
Goddamn, well, y'all cut me up now.
Well, we gotta let you know that part.
Listen,
Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Blue, down. We're getting up. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We thought you were talking to us.
okay.
Sorry about that.
I want to mention something. This is for the divine goddess and the divine goddess. This is just for the divine Titan experience out there. You know, when we're born and that vortex opens up in the divine goddess, don't you know that's a magnetic field that captures stars? I'm gonna let y'all chew on that for a minute.
No, you're right.
I'm not all right, nigga, but I can prove.
Hold on, Abdul, at that. But
okay, well, I'll finish this, brother Rocky. Abdul.
You said you asked
my name,
right?
Right.
Answer for me. I know this, because I'm in the quantum physics, right? I know I get to pick my parents. That's why it's a pair that rents. If you do the etymology of the word parents, right? With that being said, so even in my studying, excuse me, because it has me all jacked up right now. But during my studying, even if we're coming through the canal and all of that, but that's a form of a portal. I understand. My teachings.
Let me give you some understanding.
Yes, sir.
We are under nothing right now. We're going to go into an inner journey, my nigga.
Yes, sir.
The inner journey is towards the vortexes inside of your wheel, that you call chakra in Sanskrit. That ain't nothing but us. Everything that we learning is nothing but our shit, and we'll be reminded how to do it. When I said the world, no. I deal with quantum physics too.
Okay.
But pertaining to the 4 points. Heat and cold. Dry and wet. North and south. East and west. That's the tree of life I just said to you, nigga. That's found.
Speaking of
Stop, listen, learn, listen and learn. All quantum physics come from those 4 points.
It's black matter. That's what you have. That's what carbonated.
Bro.
Black energy.
Bro, what? Stop. We ain't no such thing as black. You can't see black.
No. Dark energy matter. Excuse me. Dark energy.
You can't even see that.
Yeah,
Why?
Take away the foolishness. There's only 4 points.
Dark is
everything. Now let me build some sacred geometry with you. 4 gives you 4 square, right? You got 4 square. You got a tetrahedron. You got all the. I don't want to go to the octahedron. I want to go to that shit. That's all found in the divine mother.
Yes, sir.
It starts right there at the root chakra, which is where the soul sits.
The divine.
The soul sits in the heart chakra, I believe, right?
Nigga, please. The tree of life is the soul. Listen to me. The tree of life is the soul. The soul is the woman. The woman goes to sleep. You fall asleep. Listen. You just come on the Sunday. You come on the Sunday bill. I'm like the old 5%, nigga. I'm gonna show you.
So
I get you with the 5%, right? And
no. I just throw that because I know about them.
Right. So this is what we're gonna do.
I'm a down.
From Jersey. I know all about it.
Bro, I'm from New Year's. You know, New Year's is above Jersey. I'm at the top of the mountain. We ain't battling. No, please.
Listen.
I'm coming to you with love, so please, I'm gonna tone down my frequency for a second. Then I'm gonna say this. If you know everything, you know nothing. If you know nothing, you know everything. As far to the left you go, as far to the right you must go. That's why you just have to learn to be just the watcher.
I'm always
At the
the
end of the
student.
river,
I'll tell you this.
you'll find family at the end of the river.
Challenge.
The challenge, listen, I got time for no competition and challenges. Nah, nigga, you go do your own thing.
I say challenge.
I ain't beating it. Stop. I'm not challenging you on nothing. That's your mental sphere of activity. That's your frequency. You are right in what you know.
What about my frequency, sir?
Bro, listen for a second. I'm not giving out respect. I'm not taking respect. I'm saying what you're saying is 100% correct.
Right.
You understand that? That's your fucking world.
Wow.
And you got it?
Yes,
All right, peace and all about.
Yes, I understand it. You bombed me on that one.
Yeah, see, you got.
Dumbass on that one.
Yeah, you got to learn his lingo.
I'm messed up. That's all that happened. I have to get right.
Right. You got to understand his lingo, and then you like, wow, we're seeing right. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you guys, breaking that down. Rocky, Sunday is going to be on and popping, and we're going to get this dialogue going. Sunday is where you want to be. Sunday is where the gods meet, and they get it in. All right? So I'll give you that information. I give you that information later on. It's gonna blow your mind away. We're gonna move on. So we pretty much touched on this Moor situation. We wish or the Aboriginal situation. We're gonna have to keep close to that story, because it's very important for us. It's very important for us. It is a learning lesson than teaching us of who we are and how we have to stand on our ground. Once you understand those 4 elements, right, the 4 corners, then you'll know how to maneuver in this matrix, right? And so we have to know who we are as self. Shout out to the chat. Let me know. We're going over the time, so I don't want to touch on the rest of the topics. I'm gonna have to save it for next week. I appreciate everyone who's on the call right now. It's always a great time, man. It's always a great time for me. I'm a student. I know nothing at all, and that's why I'm learning. But go ahead, read to me.
So now what's going on here is let me go into the chat and give a couple of words. Anybody that wants to participate on the Sunday build, we do it every Sunday. You can hit Cousin Solar. I'm gonna put his email, or Solar, put your email in the chat so they can see it. He was having technical difficulties with being able to get back and forth because the emails was blocking messages and stuff like that. So
Mercury is in retrograde. Where we at right now?
We're gonna have
what planet? What planet is messing that up?
We'll touch on that next week. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna touch on some of that next week. I may go into a little bit of my own studies on numerology because I delved into that.
Ooh, numerology!
So we could discuss some the numbers, because numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. People do.
And we're gonna get into this thing here, and maybe teach some of us about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna teach each other about each other, and
right.
We'll be in a better place for it. We'll all be better for that. You know what I'm saying?
We will.
So we're going to touch on that a little bit next week. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that. In the chat, Kay says those Rhode Island Moors were speaking gibberish in the courtroom. We don't talk like them. They probably are agents because we never heard of these Moors. And 6B says either they're quote-unquote agents or they should have been studying Jonah Bay. And that's a whole fact.
That's a staple fact.
Wiz had agreed with that. But like Wiz said, and like what you said, Kia,
yes, sir.
We want to keep a close eye on the things that to come about in
with
this case.
Yes, because
Okay.
that you know, the Aboriginal and the Moors will be, you know, looked at in the wrong light. And I see the little psyop. I see what the little setup that they're trying to do. So yeah, they could be Asians putting those, you know, putting the Moors in a bad way in society and trying to just dismiss us. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna happen. Anyway.
Right.
It's not two different. I get the Moors, the Aborigines, explain, like, I don't understand. It's just how so I can have an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say Aborigines, when I hear you say that, I don't think we're nothing like the Moors. I thought that the Aborigines are basically like that. Like, this is our Earth. This is ours. We are. Matter of fact, I think we're 70% of the population. Caucasians are what, 13? That should tell you everything. No such thing as the Atlantic and Indian slave trade. I think we are the Aborigines. I'm pretty sure we are. But that's not a topic to discuss. I just think it's two separate.
Right, on a Sunday.
It's all good. I mean, I understand your point.
That's not a thing.
But we can definitely show you that they are all one and the same. It's you gotta understand that at certain points in times in human existence, we've been in certain
mankind,
you know,
man and man.
Right. The diaspora was different at different times of existence.
Right.
You know,
Aboriginal or Aborigine or whatever, right? If you break it down, Abba is Arabic for father, and original. So what it's all saying that we're the father civilization. That's what Aboriginal means.
Remember that song? It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing.
When you say Aboriginal Moors, you're saying what we're saying is that we're from here, from what you call America, the continent.
Yeah,
you know, because everything started here. You know, people think that Africa was the civilization, and it was America. You know, if you go back and you look at the congressional records, look at all the history and you look at the maps, you'll find that everything that is over there was here first. So Spain was actually down in Mexico, and it was called España. You know, I mean, you look at the old maps, everything is there, and the congressional record tells you, because if you look at the Treaty of Granada, it tells you where Granada was. You know, if you look at the Treaty of Texas, you know, the annexation of Texas, it tells you, it tells you all this other stuff, you know.
Right, so everything is in reverse.
People perish because they don't know knowledge. They don't read. You know, people rather sit down and watch TV.
Or sometimes you're reading and you don't comprehend it.
Say what?
Chester John, I'm reading up on him now. Chester John was in America. One of the fathers that you're speaking of. I've just started the book yesterday. So
one thing I hate is when my brothers, my so-called African American brothers, talk about, oh yeah, he's Latino. That, you know, Latino was actually a word that was created in the 80s. You know, there's no such thing as Latinos. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as Spanish.
What those people call themselves Latino. They call themselves Latino too. You know, not that. It's all a training that they did to all of us. The Latinos are calling themselves Latinos. The so-called African American, aka Black, all that craziness are calling them Latinos. It's all to divide and conquer. But listen, you guys, Sunday.
You're right, but we're one.
Absolutely. We're one. That absolutely. We gotta stop them. That's the whole point when it comes down. Sunday is gonna be on the pop, and we're gonna talk about all of this stuff, you guys. It's very interesting, it's very juicy. I love it. But we gotta close out right now. We can have a after party discussion, but as far as this YouTube page, it is going to be shut down. You guys can stay on the phone and continue to talk from here. Go ahead. Thank you. Peace and love. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. This is what happens at House of Harlem. You always gonna learn something. Peace to the gods. See you next Thursday.
Yep.
Go ahead, guys. Y'all
Yeah.
can talk on the phone. Go ahead, Eugenio.
I don't